Hey, it's Harper again. This is the last installment for the cosine and sine, the non-right triangles, finding missing pieces. Today, if you look, each of these triangles have all the sides, but they have no angles. Well, they have angles, we just don't know what they are. So we're going to be finding a missing angle on each of these triangles today. Alright, so it's the same formula for the law of cosines, just we're going to be using it slightly different. Instead of trying to find A, B, or C, we are now trying to find A, B, or C instead. So let's look at this first triangle. I'm going to be doing these first two. I'll let you try the third one, and then I'll give you the answer to the third one. On this first one, we're going to do the same thing as before, where we label our triangle. In this case, we might want this to be A, B, or C. We'll want to start here. Let's do A. In that case, this will be B, and this will be C. This will be little a, little b, and little c. Alright, if I'm trying to find this angle and it's A, I'm going to use the first, second, or third equation. I'm going to use the first one. So that gives me 8 squared plus, equals 12 squared plus 18 squared minus 2 times 12 times 18 times cosine of A. If you have a TI Inspire calculator, use NSolve. You're done. If you don't have a TI Inspire calculator, follow through on the rest of this. Okay. So, I first have to figure out 8 squared, 12 squared, 18 squared, and what that mess is right there. 8 squared is 64. That one's easy. And we have 144, and whatever 18 squared is, 18 squared plus 144. Just gonna combine those together right now. That gives me 468 minus 2 times 12 times 18 gives me 432 times cosine of A. Alright, how would I move the 468 over to this side? I would subtract. So 64 minus 468 gives me negative 404. Now to get the negative 432 over to this side, I need to divide. So negative 432. That gives me 0.94. And we'll say 35. Equals cosine of A. Take the inverse cosine of both sides. And that's going to give me an answer of A equals 20.7 degrees. This angle right here must be a 20.7 degree angle. If you didn't get 20.7, check and make sure that your calculator is in degrees and that it is not in radians. That is usually the most common issue that I see with calculators, is that you're in radians and not degrees. Okay, we are in degrees. I'm going to erase this. If you want it, just back up a little bit. Alright, let's do this next one here. I'm going to label it. Let's call it A, B, C. This will be side A. This will be side B. This will be side C. Alright. What side am I looking for? I'm looking for side B. So I'm going to use my first, second, or third equation. The second one. So let's see here. 13 squared equals 11 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 11 times 12 times cosine of B. You might have carpal tunnel by the time that we're done with these videos. Alright, now we just need to solve and add those together. This is going to be 169 144 plus 121 is 265, I believe. Yeah, it's 265. Minus whatever that one is. I don't know. Off the top of my head. 2 times 11 times 12. 264. There we go. So I'm going to subtract this number over to this side. So 169 minus 265 gives me negative 96. And then I need to divide both sides by negative 264. That gives me 0.363 equals cosine of b. Again, at this point right here, you could have just used NSolve if you have a TI Inspire. I don't. I'm on a TI 84, which I personally think are cooler anyway. Take the inverse cosine of both sides. That gives me b is 68.7 degrees. You might have got something slightly different if you used 363. I used the actual entire decimal and plugged in for b. Okay, there's that one. I want you to try this last one on your own real quick. All right, got 29, 35, and 40. On your mark, get set, go. All right, you should have the answer by now. You should have paused. If you don't, pause, do it, and then resume to the video. So here, I need to start by labeling these. So I'm going to call this one C, A, and B. This is C. This is A. This one's B. Okay, it's all just opposites. Doesn't matter the order. It doesn't. So angle C, I'm going to use this last one right here. So 35 squared equals 29 squared plus 40 squared minus 2 times 29 times 40 times cosine of C. That's a long problem. At this point, if you did it by hand, you should have added those together. 29 squared plus 40 squared gives me 2,441. 35 squared. That's 1,225 minus 2 times 29 times 40. That should have been 40. That gives me 2,320 times cosine of C. Again, if you have a TI Inspire, just throw it into a TI Inspire calculator and solve, you're done. But I don't. I'm going to subtract 2,441 from both sides. So let's see here. That gives me negative 1,216 is equal to negative 2,320 times cosine of C. I'm going to divide this now by this number. That gives me 0.524137931. I'm not going to write them all out. Take the inverse cosine of both sides. And that gives me 58.4 degrees of angle C. And you're done. Cool. If you're still confused, there's a couple videos right below this one that you can watch of other people explaining basically the same thing but doing a couple other problems. If you think you got it, go on and try the next problem in this saga. Well, next problems on Delta Math. I'll see you next time.